Hey there, YouTube. Welcome to Big Mike Beard Wisdom. So, I was reading on Google, and they had something that kind of popped up that said, should you or should you not brine your turkey? Experts weigh in. They said, yes, always brine your turkey. So, this time when we brined our turkey, we went with something that used apple cider. So, if you've got a turkey buried deep in your freezer, it's definitely one of those things where I really like brining it. I've always had good luck brining a turkey. And then I don't know if it's because you go through the trouble of brining it that maybe, you try and make sure it cooks a little bit better or something like that. But it always seems like a brine turkey tends to be just a juicier, more flavorful turkey. And then, of course, we cooked it the same way we've cooked it before. So just in this big Oster, like, countertop roaster that the lid doesn't quite seal on. So essentially in a Google search, what I found was this, and it's on this delish.com website. You can kind of see some of the address up here. And if you went up Googling for, apple cider brine turkey, I'm sure it'll pull up. But this worked out really, really good. But it's an interesting read. So it just gives you a little bit of information. They've got extra stuff if you want to learn about, dry brining a turkey, which is probably going to be the next method I want to try in. And basically you need the 2 quarts of apple cider, 6 cups of water, kosher salt, quarter cup packed brown sugar, 4 cinnamon sticks, 3 sprigs fresh rosemary, 1 orange quartered, 1 teaspoon of whole cloves, 1 teaspoon whole peppercorns, and they got 1 8-pound whole turkey. So we had a 12-pound whole turkey, which is a little bit small. The smaller turkeys seem to take to brines really, really well, and it really gets a lot of flavor through them. Whereas like a really big turkey, they kind of need a little bit more time in the brine. But for us, that small turkey, we had that thing thawing in the fridge for over a week, and it was still kind of frozen. So, seems like every time I do a brine, it's always a semi-rushed brine where the turkey's still a little frozen. And then for the roasting part, they've got 1 red onion, 1 apple, 1 head of garlic, kosher salt, freshly ground pepper, and 6 tablespoons of butter melted. And then we also threw in the oranges from the brine into it, and that really kind of made things extra interesting. And then it breaks down what you're supposed to do really easily. So it's basically your standard brine situation. So cook it up, kind of get everything ready, and then when you're ready, here is the interesting part, because it has you remove the turkey from the brine and pat dry with paper towels, as opposed to a lot of other brines, you actually wind up rinsing the turkey off, which can be an extra hassle of now you've got to take the turkey from the bucket or the bag or the cooler that you've got it in, put it in hopefully a clean sink, and then rinse the sucker off. Meanwhile, not spraying by accident anything around you, including yourself, with, possibly funky turkey brine stuff. And then this basically just has you go ahead and cook it. So we didn't quite follow this. We followed more like the Alton Brown cooking method for it and stuff. But we went all the way to the point of removing the turkey from the brine and patting it dry with paper towels. And then with this, we also went with what we did last time as well and just brushed the turkey with melted butter on it to kind of like lube it up. Whereas like I think the Alton Brown one and stuff, you do with like some type of oil. And to me, it just seems like the butter helps to give a little bit extra flavor. But I haven't had really good luck browning the skin with the butter. And then, just like always, whenever you're all done with it and stuff like that, you definitely want to give it time to cool and rest, which might be another one of those reasons why I've always had like kind of a successful turkey, is that I kind of let it sit and rest a little bit before cutting it. And there's nothing like trying to cut a really, really hot turkey. So it's always nice to let it rest and cool just a little bit so you're not quite burning your fingers off. And you can see on their site, they ask the same question. Do you brine your turkey? Not usually or always. For me, it's pretty much been an always. And then you don't have to do exactly what a brine recipe says. We went with this freeze-dried garlic just to see how it'd go. I don't know if it really made a big difference or not, but it's always good to kind of note what deviations you made. That way you're like, oh man, that turned out really good, or maybe I would do this differently. So whether or not you follow the recipe, it's up to you. And if you do wind up changing it, let me know down in the comments. And it came out pretty good. So definitely a little bit sweeter. If you had pieces of it that were near like a piece of fruit, so like an apple or like an orange or something, that when it cooked, you definitely knew it when you took a bite out of the piece of meat. So definitely interesting. I like the no rinsing side of it. So if you're going to do a brine and you don't want to have to go through the trouble of actually having to rinse the turkey off after the brine, this was way simpler. So if you're thinking about doing a turkey brine, I'd definitely recommend this one. It's a sweeter kind of flavor than like the Alton brown one, which is still pretty good, but it's just a different flavor profile. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, like maybe you've done the Alton brown one a few years in a row and you just want to change it up a touch, I'd definitely recommend this. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll check you next time.